Welcome to your daily stimulus package and second stimulus check update. Hope you are doing well today. Give this video a thumbs up if you support a second stimulus check to struggling Americans. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Consider subscribing now to join this awesome community to stay informed on the latest stimulus updates, economic updates, and financial tips. And if you've been watching this channel but yet to subscribe, you are really missing out. Hit the subscribe button now to stay informed on the latest updates. What exactly is going on with the second stimulus checks and the next stimulus package? People have been losing hope on this second stimulus check. We're tired of waiting for the second stimulus checks for weeks and months. We've all been anxiously and desperately looking out for a second stimulus check to the people. And we've seen a wave of stimulus proposals and bills come through from the House and the Senate. Only the HEROES Act has passed so far, and that passed in the House but was shut down in the Senate. And just last week, we saw the Senate Republicans introduce a skinny $500 billion GOP stimulus bill. But this bill was blocked in the Senate by the House and the Senate Democrats. So congressional Democrats blocked the bill simply because they felt like this did not include certain key provisions that they want to see. And one of those provisions that millions of Americans want to see is the second $1,200 stimulus checks. But this bill that was introduced last week did not include the stimulus check to the people. So what are we really seeing happening right now? We're seeing hopes fading away. People thinking that this will never happen. And we're seeing so many speculations out there from experts or people who are saying that nothing will be coming before November. So people right now are saying that no stimulus checks or stimulus package will be coming anytime before November. But we're going to hear from this update right now what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is one of the critical or the key people that will make anything happen. So House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is saying that she's voicing her optimism about passing another stimulus package, according to this report from AS News. And I'm going to walk you through where this report from AS News actually comes from. So AS News basically reported what Nancy Pelosi said. So Pelosi said, I am optimistic. I do think we should have an agreement. So here's the deal. Pelosi had an interview with CNN, the Situation Room, on Friday, and that's when she said this statement. So I'm going to go through the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's press release, and this press release goes over House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's interview on CNN Situation Room, where she was discussing the more than 100 days since the House passed the HEROES Act and no action yet from the Republicans. So this is what the host from CNN was asking House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So the host, Wolf Blitzer, goes, there are a lot of people out there who can't pay their rent, who are having trouble putting food on the table. Why not, Speaker Pelosi, why not work together? That's a good question. Then here he also goes, there's a Republican majority in the Senate and the Democratic majority in the House. Neither side can completely get what they want. Why not come up with some sort of compromise, at least in the short term, and help those Americans right now who are struggling bitterly to pay the rent and get their businesses back afloat, and worry about some of the bigger issues down the road, at least patch something right now. So here's the deal. Everyone has been saying the same thing. Why not pass the things or the provisions that both sides have agreed upon? Like things like the second stimulus check. It is clear that both sides have expressed the need for a second stimulus check. So why not pass the second stimulus check and then go back and worry about other provisions, other sticky issues later on, like other bigger issues down the road? Why not talk about those after you've passed the things that we've agreed upon? Things like the unemployment, just other pressing issues. Why not pass those right now? And that's what he's asking. So this is a great question right here from the host of the Situation Room. Now here's Nancy Pelosi's response to that. So Nancy Pelosi goes on and she says, well, you pose a question as usual very well. And that's why we came down $1 trillion right from the start and said, we'll come down $1 trillion. And you go up $1 trillion. And then we went further than that and said we'll meet you halfway. So here's the deal. Again, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, during the negotiations with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who were representing the Senate Republicans during the stimulus talks. Basically, Pelosi had a $3 trillion price tag for this next stimulus package, and she came down to around $2 trillion. Then she asked the White House to come up $1 trillion. That's what she's saying here, to meet them halfway, basically. But the White House came up to $1.3 trillion, according to what Mark Meadows said. He said the president is willing to sign something at $1.3 trillion. But finally, we came out last week to see a $500 billion skinny bill, which is nowhere close to what both sides, the progress both sides made on the stimulus price tag. So what she's saying here is that she's done the whole meet us halfway, come down $1 trillion and then go up $1 trillion, but it doesn't seem like that worked. So now she's saying, she goes further in her response. She goes, but you pose in terms of hunger and rent. And that's exactly what the Republicans did not have in their bill that they had on the floor. Millions of children are food insecure in our country. Millions of their families are on the verge of eviction, but yet not $1 on rent or any money for food insecurity. So this is another key issue right here. One of the sticky issues that the Democrats have been pushing for, or the provisions that they've been pushing for, is housing assistance and food assistance for the people. But the bill that we saw last week did not include these provisions for the people. So she goes on and then she keeps saying state and local governments is where our heroes are, hence the HEROES Act. Our healthcare workers, our first responders, police and fire, our sanitation, transportation, food workers, our teachers. Over 90% of our school budgets come from the state and local government. Again, you know, the state and local government funding is one of the major issues that the Democrats have been pushing for. This is one of the major sticky issues during the stimulus negotiations. Both sides failed to come to an agreement on the state and local government funding, and that's what Nancy Pelosi is stressing in her response here. So basically, to sum this all together, let's jump right to the news from where AS News got the optimism or the good news for today from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So the host of the CNN The Situation goes, he goes and he's asking Nancy Pelosi. So he says, so Speaker Pelosi, have the talks now collapsed, or we shouldn't anticipate anything between now and, let's say, November 3rd election day? Or are you still talking to the White House, to the Republican leadership in the Senate? I know you are not talking directly with the president. So here's the deal. This kind of addresses all the speculations that nothing will happen before the election. So here's what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says. So Pelosi says, no, I don't, because I find no reason. So talking about the president, if she's talking to the president. But here's the good news that she actually mentioned here. So she says, no, I'm completely optimistic, as is Chuck Schumer. I was so proud of him yesterday to reject the terrible skinny bill to a massive problem that we have, not even trying to find common ground to meet the needs of the American people. In fact, being disdainful and contemptible of the needs of the people. So she says, no, I'm optimistic. I do think that we should have an agreement. That's all we want. So there you have it. Nancy Pelosi is basically calling for an agreement. She's not saying that a bill will not pass before the election, but then again, she's not specific about something passing before the election. Again, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. While we wait for Congress to finalize the next stimulus package, you may have to pick up a side hustle or a side gig to get some cash or make some extra money from home. Be sure to check out the video on the left to discover the one-of-a-kind website that pays you hundreds to thousands of dollars to just read out loud. This is a free, simple, and exclusive side hustle, and in this video, you'll discover the step-by-step process to get started today. And if you want the best-kept secret to increase your credit score fast, check out the video on the right. Don't forget to help others find this video quicker by liking this video and sharing it. And also, be sure to subscribe now as we track the latest progress on the next stimulus package. See you in the next update. Be safe and thank you for watching.